What is up and welcome back. We are your Emerald Coast relocation team. Pete Sweeney here with Trent Smart, one of our top specialists here in the Pensacola area. What we're going to be doing is talking about activities happening in and around Pensacola. Let's go. So obviously Pensacola is always known for Pensacola Beach and why so many people do visit and move into the Pensacola area. But let's kind of break into a few other things that not so many people know about. First thing we're going to talk about is some museums. First one's being the National Naval Aviation Museum.
Yeah, they have a beautiful facility out at the Navy base. They recently just allowed public access to it this year.
Yeah.
It's a very popular thing for people to do. It also gets you out of the heat on those hot days. One thing to plan for though is that it hasn't been open to the public again for a long time, so it's really popular. So do plan for crowds. Plan ahead, get out there a little bit earlier.
Speaking of crowds, we're going to dive into something that we actually just did this last weekend. We're talking about the air show that they hold on the beach. Hold on though and wait until the middle of this video because we will be breaking a little bit into what happened at the air show and how awesome that was. Another great museum in the area, I guess you could kind of consider a museum. We're going to be talking a little bit about Fort Pickens.
Yeah, Fort Pickens is out on Pensacola Beach. It's an old war fort. It's very famous for town. It's actually where they kept Geronimo as prisoner back during the war. And there's all kinds of information out there to go through. You can go through, you can tour the fort, you can go down and tour the tunnels and some of the old dungeons. And there's little historical facts all throughout for you to learn about. You can see where, you know, the old cannons and where they were facing back towards the mainland and kind of little backgrounds on what happened at that fort. And also something else to keep in mind if you're heading out towards Fort Pickens, if you want to spend a little more time out there, they've got phenomenal camping. Right, not actually on the fort, but as you enter the Fort Pickens area, there is campsites that you can reserve. A great place to go take the family, free range to run around. You can get to the water, run around in the sand dunes, and still have, you know, a couple minutes bike ride or car ride over into the fort itself.
Yeah, guys, when we first moved into the Pensacola area, I mean, as we mentioned before, we're in Gulf Breeze, but everyone always says how you have to visit Fort Pickens. It's one of the top locations that a lot of history buffs love to go when they are looking for activities within the Pensacola area. Another thing that we're going to be covering, which apparently when Trent was growing up in Pensacola, it was named something different. We're talking about the Pensacola Children's Museum in downtown Pensacola.
Yeah, it used to be called the T.T. Wentworth. Now it's Pensacola Children's Museum. It's right downtown. Another good way to entertain the family and get out of the heat during the summer. Lots of activities in there for the kids to do. Some simulators, some things they could physically play on, and some things they can learn about.
And guys, like I said, I mean, we just moved here from Colorado just this year. Just talking about these things makes me want to go do it. So if this is something that you guys are enjoying and you do want to continue to follow this information, do us a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button. Maybe give us a thumbs up, little notification bell. That way you're notified every single time that we put out a brand new video. If you are planning on calling Pensacola your home, give us a call or text the phone number right below right there. We're going to help you out with all those real estate needs, making sure that you're getting into the right house and the right information that you need to call this place your home. Another thing that we're going to be talking about outside of the museums is downtown Pensacola. And I remember when we first drove into Pensacola, I didn't think much of it. I came from Denver, right, where I'm usually this huge city, and I saw it and it was so much smaller. I didn't think much of it until I actually decided to walk down there. We actually posted a video not too long ago talking about downtown. I walked through a little bit, but I think Trent is honestly the expert when it comes to activities that you can do downtown.
Yeah, I grew up here, so when I was younger, downtown Pensacola, it had a lot going on and it was cool to go to, but it has grown considerably, and now there are things to do everywhere. Anything from going down to one of the gallery nights where the vendors all come out and line Main Street around the bars and restaurants. You have free reign to walk up and down Palafox. There's Seville Square, which has festival after festival. Just to name a couple, there's the Seafood Festival, the Arts Festival, or the Crawfish Festival. Kind of look at the schedule for Seville Square festivals going on. Maritime Park's got baseball games, the Blue Wahoos, and then the Base Center's also got our hockey team down there. Even if there's not anything big planned or going on, just the restaurants and bars down there themselves. Some great restaurants to check out. One of my favorites, Global Grill. I love Dharma Blue. The Fish House is down there on the water. It's got great views. So even if there's not a special event planned, downtown is thriving. It's a good place to go.
Another thing when we first moved down here is Trent was talking about Joe Patty's Seafood, where you kind of go in there. It's like a market for seafood, and I never experienced anything like that. And I know it's not technically an activity, but it's something I want to go check out just so I can experience it for the first time.
Yeah, whenever I go there, I usually take my kids with me just because being in there is cool in itself.
Yeah.
Those boats back up right to Joe Patty. Everything's extremely fresh. There's a lot going on in there. You walk in there, you're hit with a number. You better take it. You better pay attention because they're moving fast. It's busy. It's loud, but the food is amazing. The scenery is great, and it's a good place to go get your fresh seafood.
I just imagine like fish just flying across the way, like, you know, they're packing them up in the paper, and I'm sure I saw it in a movie somewhere, but I'm sure it's not as dramatic as I would think it would be. Super cool spot to check out though if that's something that you would enjoy. Obviously, and I already hit on this a little bit in the beginning of the video, is Pensacola Beach. This is an attraction in itself, something to do, and so Pensacola is kind of the main spot that everyone likes to go to, where you do have that kind of that party scene at nighttime, but even during the daytime. Like, so we have a property outside Tampa, actually more so the Clearwater area, and I just feel like the beaches don't compare as compared to Pensacola. If you don't want that craziness, head over to Navarre Beach. Navarre is a lot more quiet, not as congested. You're not going to get that party scene. Of course, the parking lot isn't as large. Most of the parking lots over there are sand. Also, there's Perdido Key that you kind of talk a little bit about.
Yeah, so the beach has a little bit of something for everybody. As he was saying, Pensacola Beach has got something going on everywhere. There's bars, there's restaurants, there's nightlife. You've got the Gulf side, you've got the Sound side. So, you know, if you've got small kids, you may not want to go out to where there's large waves. On the other side of the beach, you can go. We call it Mom Beach or Baby Beach, but there's sand that goes up to the Sound side. It's waist deep water. You can sit and relax while the kids play, and there's no threat. Mm-hmm. Perdido Beach. If you're wanting to avoid the crowds and the chaos, head out to Perdido Beach. They've still got a lot going on out there. There's places to eat and drink. Same strip of sand. It's that beautiful white sugary look, but you are not going to deal with the chaos that you deal with going up to Pensacola Beach on say a Saturday or Sunday when everything's really busy.
Let's go and break in some of those special events. So not your everyday activities that you can take advantage of, more of those special ones, right? And so recently we went to the air show for the 4th of July. It was fantastic. I will tell you though that you better plan a few hours ahead of time because it took us a few hours to find parking, get our car afterwards, but it is amazing. We just seriously found a little spot in the front of the beach. It looked a little kind of like we weren't able to do it, but we snuck our way in there, got our kids. It was an awesome time. Seriously, probably one of the best air shows I've ever seen. They used to hold them back in Colorado when I was growing up as a kid. I just haven't seen anything like it. It was fantastic. If you are deciding to go to the air show, plan on packing some food. We actually we're like, you know what, we're going to do this. We're going to head over to the dock, have some food over there, and like, actually the kitchen is closed. I'm guessing they're taking advantage of all the tourists who were there, taking in the drinks more so than having to turn the kitchen up.
And another little locals tip on the air show. It is an amazing air show, but the air show is on the Saturday every year, the Saturday of the air show week. And the Saturday is crazy. You got to get up early. The beach is packed by 5 a.m. The parking is full. There's not, a lot of ways to get out there. You can go by boat, maybe try to ride your bike out there. But something that a lot of people don't know is they rehearse for that air show Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's just as good of a show. It does still get crowded for those, but not like it does on Saturday. So maybe you want to head out there on a Thursday and see the same show with less of a crowd. The Wednesday is actually in the morning. They call it Breakfast with the Blues. So you can take the kids out there, you can eat breakfast, watch the air show out there. So you have several opportunities to see it. You don't have to cram in on Saturday with everyone else. But if you want to go rub elbows with everybody and drink beer with them, I get it. There's multiple days that you have an option to get out there.
Yeah, it was fantastic. We actually saw our house is right underneath where they were practicing, and so as we were kind of doing a few things around the house, our son kept running outside because he heard the jets flying over the house practicing. Super awesome time. So if you're in the area, like pretty much all the Gulf Breeze area or even Pensacola Beach, you can take advantage of just doing your regular house stuff and seeing those jets practice right over you. Another thing that I actually noticed once we first kind of moved into the area was the 5Ks that they constantly have. When we moved in, it was like right around St. Patty's Day, and I saw St. Patty's 5K. 4th of July, they just had a 5K. Apparently they have them like every other week or something like that for a different event.
Yeah, I grew up running in 5Ks and 10Ks around here. There's something for everything. Definitely the McGuire's 5K for St. Patrick's Day. I'm not sure if they still do the Fiesta 5K, the Bayou Hills Run, the Pumpkin Run, Valentine's Day Run. They've got one for every holiday. Spread out all over the city. Lots of good runs to do, ways to stay outside, ways to stay in shape.
Yep.
Something else cool that Pensacola offers is Fiesta Week. It celebrates the founding of the city of Pensacola and Don Tristan DeLuna's landing of the area. And it's a week-long celebration. There are some parties specifically for people involved in Fiesta, and there are lots of events going on that's for the general public. I think the biggest one is the Thursday night parade downtown. It happens every year. Huge parade, lots of floats, lots of candy, lots of beers and fun for the family. It's a little something going on for everybody, and I'm not sure if it still happens, but then when the parade is finished, I think the after party heads over to Seville Quarter, another great local spot that people love to go. A lot of history to it, and people love to go there, have a good time. It's a complex made up of 8 different bars, 8 different themes, all in the same place, so a little something for everybody in there as well.
Another cool thing too, when we were in the area, was Trent was telling me about how they always have these crawfish broils. I'm from Denver, like I said, we do not do crawfish broil. I mean, okay, a few people like downtown, they will do it, but I have a feeling that it's nothing like they do here in Pensacola.
Yeah, if I hear about a crawfish boil, I come running. It is one of my favorite things to do, and as I spoke earlier, there is a crawfish festival. They do it down there in Seville Square. That's for everybody, but people all over town are having their own crawfish boils. There's several places, several seafood markets here to get live crawfish. Cub's Crawfish is probably the most popular. It's my favorite to go to. You can go in there and order by the pound. You can order a couple pounds to go home and cook for yourself, or you can order 50 pounds and have a party. Great way to get people together. Great reason to be outside hanging out, and it's delicious. Anything you throw in that pot's coming out delicious. But I'm a big fan of it. I love crawfish season. Unfortunately, it just ended, so I gotta wait about 8 months now, but it will be back soon.
The third thing that we're gonna be covering are some kid activities. And before diving into that, just something cool that we noticed when we moved to the area. They have a Kona snow cone truck that comes around. I'm not used to that. I'm used to like the ice cream man. He has the beats bumping like crazy, like super loud. I was like, what is that sound? Who's playing that music outside right now? And you see the Kona truck coming around the neighborhoods. That was super awesome. But also they have libraries here where they have all kinds of different events where they revolve different things in the morning or even in the nighttime. We're talking about like Navarre, Gulf Breeze, even over in Pensacola. The libraries do all these different activities. They have a rec center also in Gulf Breeze that has a huge sports complex.
Yeah, it's got a sports complex all around it. There's gymnasiums and activities inside the rec center, but outside of it, you've also got baseball fields, football fields. I believe there's a disc golf course, a couple of volleyball courses, a splash pad for the little ones, and some tennis courts. So a little something, kind of for whatever activity you're looking for around there.
And then also, sports is awesome here. That's something that we noticed when we first came here. Like I said, we lived next to a sports complex. It was just crazy busy all the time. Our son, personally, we love wrestling. What we found out easily was that wrestling is not a big thing in Florida, but they have one of the best clubs in Gulf Breeze that we decided to join. If there are sports that your kids are interested in, you are definitely going to find those different sports here in Pensacola, Gulf Breeze, and Pensacola Beach.
Very, very athletic community, very competitive community. Sports for everybody. There's also several camps that they offer for kids around here in the summertime, and they're not going to school. I know of some surf camps, there's some golf camps, some tennis camps. UWF Explore camps I think are really cool. I put my son in one of those, and they actually take them out to the beach. They learn about marine life, learn about the water and the beach and things like that. They have several locations all over town, so there may be one that's closer to your house that you want to use, but UWF Explore camps are fantastic. And then the last thing, if you ever want to take your kids, Gulf Breeze has an amazing zoo. The Gulf Breeze Zoo has become really popular. It's grown, so something else to do with your kids during the day in the summertime, go check out the Gulf Breeze Zoo.
All right, cool guys. We brought you some great activities within pretty much Pensacola over to Pensacola Beach. That's why we covered Gulf Breeze, because it's right in the middle. If you are loving this content, do us a huge favor, hit that subscribe button. Maybe give us a thumbs up, notification bell. And if you are looking at purchasing real estate in the Pensacola area, give us a call or text the phone number right below, right there. We answer. It doesn't matter day or time. Till next time, we love you. Bye.
See you.